Tracy Lambert. If you're there with me, Mr. Hamill's going to see me because I'm out there to say my name in 3 minutes. My name is Tracy Lambert, and I was honored to sit on this board for a couple of terms. And people in District 3 and 4 actually put me in the first time, so thank y'all for that. I actually live on top of the mountain, and I think one of the things that was said by Senator Dial, that property owners should be able to do what they want to with their property. I do agree with that to a point. And Mr. Kitchens, he's a fine individual. I've never had any issues with him up there. I sat there and I called him the other day and told him my issues with it. It was the road. I do think that people should be able to do what they want to with their property as long as it doesn't impose on anybody else. We don't know if it's going to impose or not yet. That's where we are. One of the things that my concern was is I don't want the road closed without knowing, because, you know, what's going to happen? How am I going to get back and forth if this company goes out of business? So what I'm going to ask the commission to do, and I've spoken to several of you individually, and when I could, is I had a chief one time, when I first went to work at Carrollton Police Department, he told me, he said, Tracy, if you got a complaint, bring me a solution, because that's a complaint. But if you don't bring me a solution, it's another word I'm not going to say it, and I don't have time for those. So y'all think about what that was. I've got a solution, what I think that will kind of help everybody out here. Are you going to make everybody happy? Absolutely not. But can you inform, enlighten, and be transparent? Absolutely. And I think that's what most of the people here want. I don't want to come in one day and have a gate across the road and say, okay, how do I get in, where it got voted on closed. Now I know under Alabama law, the commissioner in which district the road lies has to make the motion to close the road. Mr. Brooks, that road is in your district. I'm going to ask you, and don't ask me right now, I'm going to ask you to tell the people in here that you'll hold off on closing that road based on a little caveat that I'm going to give you. And I'm going to ask the commission to do this. Some of the questions, let me go over just a couple of these questions I have. Man, slow that down. Some of the questions that we need to know from the company is the scope of the project, what the county commission needs to know. And let me get back to this real quick, is Ryan said that I'm for any company that will bring in tax dollars to the county. I'm not. I don't want a wastewater treatment plant right beside my house. I don't care any tax dollars it brings to it. Another thing is, at what cost is that to the citizens? Also, growth is good. We all want to grow. When I was on the commission, I talked about growth. But what's better is controlled growth. Controlled growth. So we know what we're doing, we know what we're getting. When the turbines are put up, you have a certain amount of tax dollars coming in. They will subside as the turbines go down in value. I guess I'm going to have to go on to the end here. I guess I'm getting in your time, man. What I would ask for this commission to do is, here's a solution I think that everybody at least can leave here today. As Ryan said a while ago, Ryan made the statement. No, Bobby made the statement, leave with a peace of mind. I think all these people here deserve to leave with a peace of mind. And in order to do that with a peace of mind, this commission will put together a committee of certain people that have, you know, an issue one way or another with it. Put them together, get information up, disseminate that information. The county has a newsletter that goes out that you can put it in it. And let's be transparent and let's educate people. And the last thing I'm going to say, at the very least, when you get the answers to the questions everybody wants and needs to know, how can anybody on this board not do or argue with them? You're telling the public what's going on. It could help Mr. Sykes, Mr. Kitchens, it could help me, it could help everybody in here. We don't know. Help us help you. Let's put together a committee and let's answer these questions and let's publicize them and let's get on. Mr. Brooks, will you give the people in this room a commitment that you will not make a motion to close that road until the information is out there?
There's nothing written in stone right now, so we'll further investigate at every angle we can investigate to see. And that's the answer I'm going to give you, because we don't know, like you said before, all of the pros and cons right now of this project.
So you're saying you don't have a problem with looking at a committee being informed to inform the people of everything, and us stepping back and just getting the information out there and then see which way it goes?
I don't have a problem with it.
Mr. Owen, do you have a problem with that?
I look into it, sure. I took time whenever this started, Tracy. Well, I'm gonna get into
You can ask him questions.
whenever this here started, I sort of heard that, you know, we was being, I didn't even know there was a bill going on to start with, and once I found out, we were sort of put into a scramble mode. But you know, I base my theory off of, first of all, they come to us in 2011 to talk about the turbines. And, I mean, it was an open meeting, anybody could be there, we talked about it, discussed it. And then I think about 4 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, Mr. Langley called me and told me that would I be interested in coming out to Ramburn to come with him to talk to the wind turbine guys, that he was going to meet with the mayor. I said, no problem. I said, wherever there's anything like that going on, I'll be glad to meet with you. So we're going to meet about 1:15. So we go out there, and at that time, the mayor just wanted to meet with them by themselves, whether it's, I don't know if it's the city council or just the mayor. So it wound up holding off for me and Benji to talk to them. And then by this time it was almost 3 o'clock. Well, I had to be in another meeting at 3 o'clock. So I told Benji, I said, I gotta go. And I told, walked by the mayor, and the mayor said, well, come back in and talk to him. I said, I ain't got time. I said, I done been out here all evening. And I said, we could just meet together as far as I'm concerned. But, so that's one elected official in that area that knew what was being talked about. I wasn't in the meeting with them. They might have been talking about killing hogs.
Well, and I'm not saying, and I'm not getting on the thing of secrets and stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when they came. It doesn't matter what's going on.
What matters is the direction I went to. When I found out about the bill, we come in and talked about it in the commission meeting. Then I went that Saturday. I stayed on the phone. I first went on the internet to find out where there's some wind turbines at, which is about 300 miles from Cleburne County. I called most of the commissioners, told them what I was up to, called elected officials in Oliver Springs, Tennessee, and the whole time I talked to these folks, I never heard one bad thing that they had to say about the turbines, other than all the work that was going on while they were building. I get up Monday morning, I get in my truck, grab a suitcase, and I go to Oliver Springs, Tennessee. That morning, I talked to you on the way back. And before I went there, I'm not a spokesman for them, and I'm not their mascot. I went up there and I asked everybody in that place that I could meet or find, what do you think about these turbines? And at no time did I have one negative response to that. When I come back, I called you to tell you. The reason why I flew up there like that, because I needed some answers, is because the bill was to be voted on. And that's one of the things that still up to this day. I'm not going to make a decision on whether we're going to close the road or not. I told you that on the phone. Until I get all the answers and meet with the guys that's talking about this wind turbine, they're not going to get my stuff. I mean, I'm going to try to it's my job to let the people know what's going on and also educate the people. Educate myself, and I think anybody call my house, and I got a few gentlemen call my house and meet in my living room, and I give them my video that I took there, and all the paperwork and all the stuff that I met. And they said, one stood up and said, can I take a picture of it? I said, take a picture of it. I said, it's yours. I said, I work for you. I said, I'll make you a copy of anything that's on this table right here. And I think that's what the people's asking for to start with. I think, but,
Exactly.
What did I tell you? I wouldn't make no decision on any road without the whole county knowing. And people that know me know that I like to talk a lot, so you're going to know it. So if you want me to come to your house, I'll explain to you. And I think that's the road where I'm at. I'm not.
You're saying the same thing that I'm saying, is if we could do a committee that this commission would name to disseminate this information, to do the education, to do things like that, to let's step back. Everybody's came up here before me and said, let's step back and look at it. One, I can't remember who said it, but one gentleman said, you might get the entire community behind the project before it's all over with. You might, but when you don't have the information, people are scared of the unknown, people are scared of change. So let's look at everything, let's get it all out in the open, and let's serve the people. Like you said, you hit the on the head. When I was commissioner and things like that, is I worked for 3D. That's my boss.
And I'm not going to be a hero, I'm going to be a commissioner.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. I know, and I just want this understood that there, and like I said earlier, that the commission doesn't have zoning, and we don't have power to say yes or no where we're at right now. But as far as a road closing, that is a public hearing, and everything will be put in the paper, and it has to be a month ahead of time, and things of that nature. Mr. Gibbs, I think you're next.
Ryan, can I ask one question while
Miss Doggett, I appreciate you. You're my neighbor and I love you, but
No,
let me get more out of you. Go ahead, Joe.
We waited for 15 minutes on Commissioner, and we're only getting 3 minutes to speak.
That's right.
Y'all trust me? I've lived here my whole life. Can I just give you whatever and y'all just take it and go with it and trust it? No. You're going to take some out-of-towners that we don't have a clue who they are and just take it and let it go? Lord help us if you do, please. Ryan, I thought you'd be a little fairer to us as citizens to let a guy from West Palm Beach, Florida, trump everything after we don't have a chance to rebut it. Have y'all checked with the tax assessor, our local tax assessor, to check some of these figures? I mean, this I'm not asking. Have y'all checked this company's last 2 or 3 completed jobs? Let me save you some time, there ain't one. There's not one. Every time you see a single thing about a wind company, it's under a different name. And I've got Mr. Syed's last 2 business cards. And they're different names. And how long have you been with the company? A couple months. The website has been up since February of this year. Do you realize that this is an Oklahoma corporation, and the state of Oklahoma, according to testimony on Thursday in the legislature, has just put a 3-year moratorium on construction? Hey, we find out there's things about this we don't know about. Let's back up and let's just look at it. You know, I appreciate what you did, Mr. Owens, going up checking that out. You saw the only one in the southeast. The only wind farm in the southeast. Did they bother to tell you that they put 3 of those things up in the year 2000 and they've already been abandoned? And they're still sticking up there like a monument to whoever, and everybody's trying to figure out what the crap to do with it. We need to just think just a minute, just take a little breath here. You know, have y'all visited the Southern Company website? It says there's no, in their words, there's no economically viable wind in the state of Alabama. Don't listen to Doug. Listen to somebody else. You know, I put out flyers, and I think I went 23 locations. Wow. And I didn't find one person. You better ask me a question, didn't you? You didn't find one person who knew about it. Not one. Not one. You know, Ryan, you made the statement in your, I don't know whose side you're on when you made that, but you said now that it's come out in the open. That makes it sound like this was kept behind our backs. You know, we're just asking for a breather here. Please give us a chance. And by the way, somebody asked me, is that turkey heaven right there from the heaven side of things? Do you think we're still going to put that up there to say, hey, look at us after we put these 30 things that are twice as long as a football field up there? And they don't do a dang thing for us as a county, and not a dang thing for us as a country. Let's just give us a chance.
Thank you, Doug. Next, we have Mr. Heath Mitchell. You passed. Dr. John Durham.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. I'm kind of new in the area, so that I can help us live here all their lives and try to direct in these ways. And I thought maybe I could offer a perspective, because I live really close to where proposed windmills would go, so I'm probably going to be touched by them more closely, more directly than anyone else. I live at 1218 County Road 633, and from my back porch, you sit and see Johns Mountain and B Hill and Tree Hill and Mountain, the whole thing right there. I don't have a special dog in the fight in the sense that I'm not looking to put up any wind turbines property, but you need to put up and be close to it. And when I looked into that, I met with the windmill folks, all wind turbine folks, and I heard about wind turbine syndrome and some of the potential effects of livestock and so forth. And I started doing research on those, kind of do my homework on those, obviously, being that close. I don't want to insult any farmers here, but I'm a farmer, but I'm trying to raise extra cattle, camels, hogs, and the kinder goats over there. Greg Dennis can tell you I'm not much of a hog farmer. I got my hogs from him, he said he's talking about. But my point is, in looking at this, I can bring a physician's perspective that perhaps it'll be an additional source of information to everyone. I'm a physician retired now, but I looked a lot into the wind turbine syndrome documentation and so forth. The main proponent of that is a physician that attended Johns Hopkins. She was a few years after I was there, but I attended Johns Hopkins as well, so I have some connections with her background and so forth that would be good for me to be available to you as an information source. I like to offer myself on that. If anyone would like to talk to me about that, if you have any articles, if you'd like to see some of the articles that I've pulled, I'll be glad to sit down with you and give you my thoughts on those. Because it seems like the thing that most people here are wanting is additional information. There's a lot of information out there, and I think the more information we have, the better we are, the better decisions they can get to make. We certainly don't want to do anything to be negative financially for the county or the opportunity in the county based on something that is not supported by the evidence that's out there. We certainly want to be careful about the evidence that's not even completely not available. If I can be of help in discussing that, please contact me. I'd love to check it.
I know Ryan said I couldn't ask a question, but Benji, I have just one simple question.
Miss Doggett, let us keep order and let us go through the thing, okay? We'll give you a
But
chance in a
this is
minute. I'll
important.
give you a chance. I've let you speak more than anyone else, okay? I don't mean any disrespect. Just give us some time, okay? Let's keep order. Benji, let's keep it going.
Hey, Ryan,
Mr. Robin Sides.
aren't we allowed to ask questions to the speakers?
No, sir, as far as if you want to ask some questions after the meeting, and the commission can ask some questions.
Well,
Just give us some time. We'll get a chance to talk.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. It shows you care about the community. I appreciate that. Even though I live in West Palm Beach, Florida right now, I do care about my community as well. So I'm glad to see everyone here. My name is Robin Size. I work for a company called NES, Nations Energy Solutions. What we're proposing here is a 50 to 60 megawatt wind farm. Depends on how much power we can sell. 30 to 40 wind towers on top of Turkey Heaven Mountain. Now, what does that mean for the community? That means annual tax of about $500,000 to your community. It means cash flow into the community during construction, 6 to 9 months, $3 to $5 million into the local community. It means 8 to 10 permanent jobs once the wind farm is built. And it also means about 200 to 250 temporary jobs during the construction time period. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a couple figures to you. There are set to be 80,000 megawatts of coal to be brought offline in the next 10 to 15 years. Our project is less than 100 megawatts, to give you an idea of how much power that is. A normal natural gas power plant going in today is about 1,000 megawatts. So you got a market share out there of 80,000 megawatts. There are industries out there much larger than the wind industry that wants that market share. They have propaganda. They've got a machine going where when you go on Google and you research things, you'll find 10 to 15 negative articles per one article that's positive about wind farms and wind turbines. So I would urge you to do a little bit more than just Google search when you're trying to research this on your own. Call some. Go to a wind farm like Emmett Owen did and find out what are the real facts. And I can tell you, I built close to 2,000 megawatts across Texas, Oklahoma, and Colorado. And I would challenge any of you, go to any of those wind farms, see if there's anything like wind turbine syndrome, or vibration issues, infrasound, things like that. Go to an actual wind farm and do your research, not just trust a Google search on the internet. I know that's all the tools some can have. Some people can't afford to go one. I mean, have someone in the community. One of your county commissioners went. He saw it. He touched it. He felt it. He listened to it. That's real truth. Pay attention to that. That's what I urge you to do. Now, we are early in the stages of this project. We don't know that we have a project yet. So therefore, we haven't had community meetings yet. We're still doing our research. We're still measuring the wind. We're still doing our environmental studies. Sent Mr. Owen an email the other day. We've got over 2 pages of federal permits and regulations we got to go by before we can build a wind farm. So for someone to say that there are no regulations in the state to build a wind farm, it's just not true. In Senate Bill 12 that came out, the reason that had to be acted on fast, it was moving fast, and that would have been a moratorium, and you would have never had the opportunity to have a wind farm in the community. And that's one of the actions we're taking to stop that, preserve that opportunity. Thank you for your time. I'll be here to answer questions afterwards.
Mr. Frank Kitchens?
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Commissioner, for the opportunity to speak today. I live on 13 Mile. And I think there are 2 objective issues that run to the core of the Commission's decision. One is personal property. Personal property rights run to the very heart of our legal system and our culture. They represent a fundamental difference between our culture and our legal system and certainly Eastern European countries where socialist and communist governments have been intrusive in property rights. The second issue that I think is should be objectively considered by the Commission is the overwhelming positive impact, economic impact, that this proposed project will have to our community. I'm the 5th generation of my family who live in this area. In fact, Johnny Gizzard and his wife own my grandfather's farm. My father left Cleburne the day after he graduated from high school in 1927 and walked to Detroit, as a lot of other people and men did in those days. Why did he do that? Because there were jobs up there. There were no jobs in Cleburne County. Little has changed in Cleburne County. The average mean income in Cleburne County is $19,000. Most people that are employed in Cleburne County, that live in Cleburne County and are employed, drive to some other county, or to the state of Georgia, or to Atlanta to make a living. It is why? Because it is very difficult to attract new business to our county. It's very expensive. When we brought Southwire into Heflin, we had to build roads, sewer mains, water mains, give them 80 acres, tax concessions. It's very expensive and very, very slow payoff. Here we have an opportunity to attract $200 million of capital to be invested in our county without any increase in infrastructure. There's some roads that have to be hardened. They'll be done so with private money, part of the $200 million. That, as Robin said, that $200 million investment will spin off an increase in ad valorem tax of $500,000 a year for 40 years. During the period of construction, there will be 250 to 300 temporary jobs. Some will come in from out of state, but because of the technical nature of their job. But they will live in motels, they will stay in RV parks, they will eat in restaurants, they'll buy gasoline, they will go to the truck and trading posts, they'll go to convenience stores. There's a tremendous positive economic impact. I thank you for your consideration.